Sumner came into being in 1905. It actually, as a result of an incident that occurred in 1904, where there was a young person who happened to be African American who shot a Caucasian, and so the schools were all integrated. And as a result of that incident, the citizens felt that it'd be best that they have a separate school. So Sumner High School, which opened in 1905, became the only high school in the state of Kansas that was strictly all African American. Matter of fact, they actually had to amend the Constitution to make it legal. And so it's one of those things where you start with with lemons and wound up with lemonade, because we became probably one of the best high schools in America. I graduated from Sumner High School in 1949, and during that period, probably up until the late 50s, no matter where you lived in Kansas City, Kansas, whether it was in Rosedale, Argentine, Armadale, or even in Johnson County, you had to attend Sumner High School.
Sumner has a legacy of being together. We were a community school, and as we grew up, we knew one another. We visited houses, we stayed with each other, so we've all been close-knitted. During that time, we could not go to a lot of different schools. We had limited places where we could play basketball. We had limited places where we could play football. So it was, the civil rights movement helped us to move along to better our education.
The teachers which made the school were probably some of the best teachers in this country because of the legacy that really Mr. Hodge had set in bringing the best teachers that he could find into the school. So we were blessed with some excellent teachers who saw that we learned. Plus you had a real community then. So you had the school, the home, and the church working together. He was a U.S. Senator from Massachusetts and was certainly anti-slavery. And before slavery was ended, he made a speech, and there was a senator from South Carolina who was so upset until he hit Sumner and he fell down some steps and Sumner died. So in the eyes of African Americans, he became a real hero because he was an abolitionist who felt very strongly about the equality of all men.
I think what what was best for us was the fact that the teachers knew our parents. And they knew that they could contact our parents at any time. If you did something wrong in school, probably before you got home, your parents knew about it. And that was the big difference. And our teachers didn't mind disciplining us. And we needed that as we were growing up. I think all kids are looking for discipline at some time or another.
You saw the teachers not only at school, but when I went to church, there were 3 of the teachers were Sunday school teachers. And so I saw them. So there was interaction not only during the week, but on the weekend. And they would go to the stores. We lived in the same community. So our parents would run into them. And we lived next door to them. Mr. Hodge lived, for example, lived at 339 Greeley. He knew everyone. And so you would not act up because you would not want them to call and tell. And they would tell.
Mrs. Butler was one of the best English teachers that ever in the Kansas City, Kansas School District. She touched so many of the different classes, teaching Greek gods and reporting poetry. That was really what she was all about.
After the school was founded and started, because of the change in the Constitution, the governor insisted that the school that was built be the same quality as the other high school in Kansas City, Kansas. That was the only way he would not veto the bill. Also, that the teachers would receive the same salary. So Sumner High School became the only school, African-American school, and all the schools were basically, 99% was strictly all African-American, became the only school in America where African-American teachers received the same pay. So we were able to, Mr. Hodge, he was able to recruit the best. So whenever teachers who were graduating from the schools, Harvard, and we had teachers from Harvard and Columbia, when they heard that there was an opening in Kansas City, Kansas, they wound up here. If you look in any of the categories, any of the professions, you will find persons who were outstanding. That is Colonel Vernon C. Coffee, Jr., who was an aide to President Nixon. If you look